Hey everybody, gonna go ahead and shoot today's video. I've obviously not done too much today. I've been sleeping most of the day. But I haven't taken a shower yet, and I don't even know if I'm gonna take one in all fucking honesty because I just really don't give a shit right about now. And I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do for as far as future plans and everything. But I'm trying to not really focus on that too much. I'm just trying to focus on the here and the now, and whatever happens, happens and stuff. So, what was it? A few days ago, Jen, who I've referred to in my other videos or whatever, Jennifer, she's been really helpful to me, and everything, like, since kind of, and that's the thing too, is like, it's like people are helpful and then they're not. Or they're helpful, but then they're kind of, questionable the whole time, and you're like, or whatever and stuff. And I don't know, I honestly hate people. I hate that I'm a human being. Like, that's how much I'm ashamed of human existence and interaction and all kinds of stuff. Like, if I could be a dog and my kid could be a dog, I would be happier being that, in all fucking honesty, I do believe, than a damn human. But, anyways, yeah, I don't know, I'm just really pissed off, really stressed out, and really fucking fed up. And the reason I'm really fucking fed up and everything is because, like, Jen said to me, what was it? She said to me a few nights ago, and I thought, that's a good way to word that. But she said to me, like, a few nights ago, she was like, oh, everything in this life is nothing more than networking, or something along that lines, And that's true, that's the only way that you have friends, that's the only way that you get a job, that's the only way that you keep a job, that's the only way that you have a community, that's the only way that you have a support system, that's the only way that you even have a family, I hate to say it, is if you're willing to do the networking, if you will, that's involved. And in all honesty, the networking, because it is so fake, I would rather just fucking die. Like, I'm sorry. I really would. I'm just over it. I'm done. And so, the past 2 days on my Facebook, I've been putting up, that, like, I have no friends, and that, I'm done with the networking of things, if you will, and stuff. And so I know that she knows that she's the one that said that to me, and I know she knows, and everything like that. But that's the way that it's always been, kind of between me and her or whatever and stuff. And she sent me a meme today, and it's like, what was it? She sent it this morning, and it's like something about, oh God, I'm so depressed, my life is so horrible, I'm so miserable. And then 3 minutes later, the thing goes on, because it's like written out like a damn cartoon comic strip or whatever, and it's like, oh, I feel great, I feel wonderful, I'm appreciative for everything that I do have, da-da-da-da-da. And then, like, it shows a few minutes later, and the person's just like, or whatever and stuff. And, like, I don't even know. I just looked at it and was like, whatever, like, because I feel like that's what people love to do to people, is people love to tear people down, or they like to try to relate to them just so they can feel like that's it, that like, legitimately. Like, am I the only person that wants to have relations, whether it's sexual or not, just relationships that don't benefit my esteem, that I don't use them to benefit my own self-esteem in a way that is, like, coercing or manipulative in any sense or form or anything like that. If I want to build up my self-esteem, I could honestly, like, there's a part of me that's like, just go live in a fucking tent and think that you're God, Like, think that you're God, because the saying about over in India, you wake up one morning and you're like, oh, I'm God. And your friends are like, oh, okay, well, come on, God. We got stuff to do, or what the hell ever. But it's like, yeah, you can live in that fucking bubble of you're a great person, but it's a bubble until somebody pops it, you know? And the thing is everybody, because of who I am, the way I roll, the way I live my life, the way I do things, the way I handle myself, people genuinely become my friend and they're like, oh, you're so cool, you're so nice, you're so awesome, you're so fun, you're so sweet, you're so kind. And then I'm just like, okay, yeah, I guess so, I guess so, yeah, I guess so, yeah, I guess so, I reckon I am, yeah, because I try to stay humble. I don't want to put my foot down because I'm not God and be like, yes, I am awesome, I am amazing, I am beautiful, I am smart, I am this, I am that, so I'm just like, yeah, I guess so, yeah, if you say so, I reckon, and then it's like, everybody seems to get really fucking pissy with me, and everybody seems to be like, trying to figure me out, and they can't figure out that about me. They can't be me. They can't be a carbon copy of me. And that's what I feel a lot of people want out of me, but they don't. And it's like, what it is they want the goodness of me to be theirs, but that's it. And that's the only reason that, like, people even hang around with me, I feel like, and everything. And I'm just like, you can't have the goodness of me unless you're putting in the work of the goodness of me. Just like I can't have the goodness of you unless I put in the work to have the goodness of you. And then even at that, I sit here and I'm like, oh, I don't have a car, for instance. And it's like, well, why don't you just go get one? Well, for starters, I don't have the money to just go get one. For seconds, I wouldn't know what the hell I was looking at, or what the hell ever, and all God bless honesty. And then I just want a car that'll get me from A to B right now. That way I can get my damn kid back. That way I can go to work and get my damn kid back. But if I'm not willing to put in the effort, if you will, or take the risk, and I guess that's what it is I'm not good at just jumping in and taking risks, even though it may seem like it, because, I had one kid early, and then I had a second one with the same guy, and all that. But I'm my own human. I make my own decisions when I make them. You can't force me to make my decisions when I make them. Just like I can't fucking force you to make your decisions when you make them. And so people get all antsy with me, I feel like, and they're like, well, why don't you make these decisions? Well, why don't you do this? Well, why don't you do that? And I'm like, because it's just not where I'm at in my life. And yeah, I can give you logical reasons, but if you don't understand it from my viewpoint, my perspective, then you're just not going to get it. You're not going to understand it. So instead of taking that as a threat and something that you have to attack, why can't you just take it for what the fuck it is? It's my perspective. It's not yours. I'm not asking my perspective to be yours, and I'm not asking your perspective to be mine. It is what it is. Why can't we just, and then that's another thing too. Like, I swear to God, I feel like I'm trapped in hillbilly hell. It's like, my friend Jennifer has told me that she's not from around here. Okay. Let's take everything face value. Okay, you're not from around here. And yet she seems to have a lot of friends that are from around here. And, and stuff like that and everything. And I'm just like, And then I feel like I've seen her even before, but she's done mentioned to me before when I told her about how I felt like I'd seen EJ before. She's like, oh, your mind can make up, things and stuff like that and everything. And I agree that it probably can. And actually, I think it's proven that it can and stuff. But I'm like, what is it? I'm like one of those people that has a fucking memory that's like very fucking precise to a degree. I mean, it's not all the time. And when I tell people that, then people are like, okay, well, what did you do yesterday? Okay, well, what did you do last week? Okay, do you remember when you said, and it's like, no, I don't. It's like things come in waves when they come back through my memory and stuff. But I remember it plain as day, and everything. And I feel like I honestly seen her over at my grandfather's house when I was a kid. And so I'm just like, I wonder if there's somehow that we're related, because my grandfather, he had I don't know, damn 7 brothers. So, I mean, it's a possibility. I have no idea. And I'm finding out all the time, more and more people that I'm fucking related to, because, let's see, my grandmother, on my dad's side, she had 3 siblings, and out of her 3 siblings, I think they had like 3 kids. I think one of her sisters had 2 kids, if I remember correctly, or she might have had 3, and then one of her sisters had 1, and then her brother didn't have any, or any kids, and then my grandfather on my mom's side had like 7 damn brothers, or 6 or something like that. I'm finding people all the time. Well, not finding people, but when me and my parents were still talking, it's like every 2 years my mom's like, "Hey, I got to talking to somebody on the internet. I found out that we're cousins," and I'm just like, "Oh, great, more family that I don't know anything about," and most of the time when you find family like that, they don't want to be family, because it's like, "Oh, I never knew you before. Well, now I know of your existence. That's about it. Check mark. Move on with my life." Like, it don't even mean anything to anybody. I mean, it does to me, but it doesn't to anybody else, I feel like. And then, and then my dad's dad, he had 2 brothers, I think. Hell, I can't even remember. I know he had 1. Yeah, he had 2 brothers. Because one was Jackie. That's right. Then they were well off. Like, that side of, like, one of his brothers was more well off financial status than him. And as a matter of fact, there's this house that I seen recently, is all I'm going to say, and I was just like, wait, is that Uncle Jackie's old house? Because we used to go visit him. And I'm like, holy shit, and I'm like, is this how this is all piecing together? Because I'm constantly piecing things together in my head, because nobody else gives a shit to. But everybody does behind the scenes, I feel like the networking thing, it's like, oh, behind the scenes, and I don't know, I just feel like I'm being manipulated all the time, treated like shit all the time, and treated like a dumbass all the time. That's just like one of the girls that stayed on my Facebook. I worked with her at my very first job. Okay, at my very first job, my boss, her last name sounded familiar. So I asked her about her last name. She's like, oh, no, no. I married into that name. That's not my real last name. And I'm like, I feel like I've known somebody with your last name, And it was like one of my sister's friends. And she's like, well, maybe, I don't know, but that's not me. And I'm like, okay, it's no big deal. Well, then there's this other girl that I talked to that was there that was, she was gay, and she's in a relationship and all that and everything. But I was like, you look like the girl, which granted, there's another girl that has a different last name, but both her names are Heather. And when I first started dating my kid's dad, he's like, oh, this is my friend Heather. And it was like this gay girl, and her name was Heather or whatever. And that's all I remember vaguely. Met her once. So when I seen this Heather at my first job, I was like, you're that Heather that knows him. And she's like, no, I don't. Well, I wish I could take you for face value, because do you know how many times I've mentioned my kid's dad's name? And people are like, I don't know him. And then I find out that they do. And they're literally on his fucking Facebook. So, can't take people for face value on that shit. Then his name is well known as a bad name in the town that we live in, and all his people and all his family, and the way his family branches out, and then the way that his family branches out, and the last name relates to Kings, which is another big name around here, which is another girl that I worked with at another job, and her name was that, and she wanted her kid to be friends with my kid, and us to be kind and towards each other and everything, and I'm like, holy shit, y'all might actually be related. You might somehow be a cousin or something to my kid, and all this and everything. And then the Kings are related to the Stampers, and then the Stampers married to the Dyers. And I mean, like, everybody, it's just like, Jesus Christ. And then one of my cousins, she married Shelton, Parker, and Speck, and Frazier. And that's really big names around here, especially Shelton and Parker. Then, my kid's dad's most recent baby mama, her last name is related to Massengale. Then that's another person that stayed on my Facebook, that's on my Facebook right now, that I used to work with at my very first job. And then when I was working at my newest job, the newest baby's mama, like sister, like the newest baby mama to my kid's dad, okay? Like his most recent child that he had. Her sister or cousin, because the girl's got the same last name as her or whatever, started working over there. Then, that's another thing too, this one girl that was kind of hitting on me, or so it seemed, and then this other girl that just seemed really friendly with me, or you can flip or vice versa, or maybe they were just both being really friendly towards me because they're trying to get all buddy-buddy with me. Both of these girls that most recently came over there, that my boss actually nicknamed as Houdini and the Crackhead, my supervisor, because she was like, Houdini keeps disappearing on me and the crackhead's just constantly on crack and needing to go and this and that and I always got a problem and whatever and everything. They have both been friends with my kid's dad on the friggin' internet on Facebook and dated him or whatever, or probably slept with him or smoked some meth with him or what the fuck ever. And I'm just in hillbilly hell. I honestly wish to God that somebody would be like, you know what? I'm going to help you get your kid back, and we're going to get you the fuck out of here, because it's enough to fucking make me paranoid as hell. And I'm so sick of it. I'm so fucking sick of it. And then that's just like EJ, for instance. EJ, I'm like, hey, I remember you. Like, it came to me after we were kind of not talking no more, and I'm like, because like I said, it comes in waves. And then I'm like, okay, well then her dad, where he was working, his co-workers kept showing up when I was working. And I was like, oh my God, it's a fucking coincidence. Let it go. It can't be nothing that big. And then I'll be damned. Right before I quit, she showed up with her dad in the store. And right as I was clocking in. And that's another thing too. My supervisor or whatever over there that I was working with at night, and everything, or manager, I don't know, anyways, manager, I keep calling her supervisor, but anyways, she has a kid with the last name Parker, which is one of the people that my cousin married, and then they had a kid together, and so the kid's name's Parker, and so I'm related to her, and I fucking can't. I'm done. I wish I could find somebody that I feel like I could actually get along with, that I could confide in, and it not become public shit. But then it never happens, and that's the reason I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna put up a YouTube. It don't matter. Nothing matters. And then even at that, this girl that's the newest baby mama to my kid's dad or whatever, she don't live here. She's from a different state. She's moved back to the different state. Her very first boyfriend she was with afterwards and everything, because I was still trying to get her to be nice so that way our kids could know each other and stuff, because they're half siblings, and so I want them to know each other and everything. And so I ended up talking to him, just like, hey, how y'all been, what's she doing, this and that, and all this. And me and her talked occasionally. And then when me and her talked, my kid's dad got mad as shit, which that don't surprise me. He's always been like that. But she would talk to me and act like she was going to be real nice to me, but she wasn't. She wasn't. She would talk to me like she's real nice to me, but she's still fucking around with him is the best way to word it. She is an emotional manipulator to the 10th degree or whatever whenever it comes to my kid's dad. I see it. I've seen it. I know what the deal is now. Literally, that girl could probably be like, murder yourself. And he'd be like, okay, how? She's manipulated the shit out of him. How the hell she managed that? How the hell she's done that? or whatever, I don't know. And then she brags and boasts herself like about it and is like so proud of herself that she can do that to a man. And then apparently, from what I'm understanding, she kind of does that to all men. From what I was kind of, yeah, with him and him coming to me for visitation with our kid and him sitting there and being like asking me for advice on how to fix the relationship between him and her. And I'm just like, I don't know and I don't care. Are you really asking me this when you're supposed to be having visitation with our daughter? Like, I was married at the time, you know, I'm like, my shit's together right now. So I don't know why your shit ain't together. I'm sorry. I don't know how to help you. I mean, you can tell me the story and I can give you what advice I can. And so he told me the story and I'm just like, and the story that he told me was practically that she was manipulating him. And I'm just like, well, put your goddamn foot down, you know, and be like, I'm not putting up with the shit no more. Or just keep letting her manipulate you. I said, but the more you let her manipulate you, the worse off you're going to be, you know. I said, so, you know, it's survival, you know. But anyways, I'm just tired. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of everything. I'm so tired of everything. I am sick to death fucking tired of everything. And then that's like even here where I'm living. Okay, I remember coming here when this used to be a barber shop, okay, with my papa. The one that died when I was 7. I vaguely remember it, but I remember it relatively clearly because there's steps that lead up to the side of the porch, and that used to be the only entrance, and you used to have to park to the side, and there used to not be no front drive. And where the front drive's at used to be fenced in, and it used to be like fields of flowers. And on the porch, there used to be rocking chairs, and you'd sit on the rocking chairs, you know, and sit out there and wait or whatever, and it was a barber shop. And that's the reason that the light's even done the way that it is and everything. And I remember the, you know, the little sign or whatever and stuff out there. But, and then my landlord, I remember seeing her vaguely throughout my childhood and stuff, and I'm just like, you know, and I'm just like, I don't want to know anybody. I want to move to a place where I literally know nobody except for my damn dogs, my cats, and my daughter. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't want to know nobody. I want that fresh start, you know, and everything. Oh, but anyways, kids' dad's newest baby mama, what the fuck ever, don't live here, lives out of state. And then because I put up on my Facebook that I would like to move to Texas, it seems like every time I put up anything about any state that I would like to move to, then baby daddy has to go and find him some friends that's in that state or whatever to prove that he has friends all over, you know, because, oh, well, you know, I'm this and I do this and I've been to prison before and I know somebody in every state and everybody. And then they say you're only 4 people away from knowing everybody on the face of the planet because of word of mouth and how quickly things can travel and blood relations and shit like that. And I'm just like, I'm ready to fucking die. Like, I'm so over it. I'm so fucking over it. I'm so fucking over it. And as a matter of fact, the damn trailer that's back behind here, I'm like, holy shit. Like, when I've went into it, I'm like, and then the woman that's like, oh, I used to live there, that I bumped into and got to know since I've been living here, or reintroduced to, I'm like, I think she babysat me once or twice when she was living back in that trailer, if she was living back in that trailer for as long as I think she was. But if not, I feel like I've been in this trailer before, or if not, you know, and used to, you know, it was more frequent, the same model of trailers and stuff. I'm like, I've been inside a damn trailer that's set up exactly like this, you know, and everything. And I'm just like, it's freaking me the fuck out, you know. And then I remember having nightmares from when, like, I was babysit, you know, and stuff. And, like, I remember this one person that used to babysit me, I would cry, like, literally, whenever I realized my mom had to go to work. I would cry in the car. You know, and she'd be like, it'd be okay, you know, and this and that and everything, you know, and she'd drop me off. And I didn't want to go because this person was mean and hurt me and all kinds of stuff. And I can't really remember exactly what happened, but I think at one place, at one point in time, there was a girl that she wasn't all there, if you will, and everything, and she touched me, if I remember correctly. And I remember I tried to tell her mom, and her mom didn't believe me. And I remember that her mom thought that she couldn't walk or what the fuck ever, and I was like, she walks when you're out of the room, like she stands up, she's just faking being that sick, being that bad off, and everything. Or maybe it's something I seen in a movie, I don't know, but I know that I remember being babysit by somebody who had an older child, a way older than me child, that was like, something wasn't right about them. So now, the whole walking bit, I can't be for certain that that's not something that I've seen out of a movie, because I know I've watched. See, that's the thing, is like, I can put my memories together in a mathematical sequence and go, is there any reason that this may not be valid? And the reason it may not be valid, the whole walking thing, is because I've watched a lot of movies that have a lot of handicapped people in them. I've watched like 2 or 3 movies over my whole entire lifetime. What the fuck the name of them was, I don't know, where the people were not as handicapped as they were acting like they were, But, fucking hell, man, I'm tired. I'm just tired of life. I'm so tired of life. Like, it's absurd how tired I am. And then I joined. Oh my god, I'm so fucking tired. I joined this app like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And there's this dating thing. And I was like, what the fuck ever. How the fuck have we come up in society so goddamn awful that dating consists of over the internet, never even knowing each other, and just being like, yeah, let's date. Okay, you're my boyfriend. Okay, you're my girlfriend. Now I can tell everybody I have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And then everybody's afraid to even put up a own damn picture of them fucking selves. Instead, it's some anime drawing or cartoon character or what the hell ever, or a picture of outside or a scenic view or vista or what the fuck ever, or the ocean or their dog or their cat or whatever. I mean, I get it on occasion, but if you ain't never going to put up one photo of your damn self, and then you're going to cry just as bad when that person breaks up with you, because say you do date over the internet. You do actually date over the internet, right? All the, I love you, good night, I hope you had a good day, and you talk and everything. Because I went through this relationship with Mike, one of my exes, okay? Me and him hardly ever seen each other. We literally seen each other like, okay, the night we met, and then like maybe 2 weeks later, 6 months, a year, maybe. We might have seen each other 7 times in 2.5 years, roughly. Like, maybe. The rest of the time, we were just talking on the phone. He was so sweet, he was so kind, supposedly to a degree. Sometimes he was a little bit of an asshole, I ain't even gonna lie. But other than that, and he spent the majority of his time on the phone with me. And I spent the majority of my free time on the phone with him. So even if you have this internet relationship, where you spend the majority of your time on the phone with each other, I mean, not on the phone, but on the internet with each other, and then y'all break up, believe me, you're gonna think you're just as fucking heartbroken as you would until you experience outside of internet relationships. But you're still gonna feel the heartache of it. So why not put in more effort to make it an actual real relationship? Especially at least putting up one fucking photo of yourself. Like, dude, I don't get it. Don't get it at all. And then, apparently it's because trolls and stuff, and the way the media has become, and the way it's like, oh, you can attack. Well, and I get tired of people attacking the way that I look. Learn to not give a shit, okay? Like, seriously, it's the best advice I can give anybody. Learn to not give a shit, okay? You look how you look, okay? If you look like you got fucking snot coming out your goddamn nose, then you got snot coming out your goddamn nose. Own it. And if somebody's like, ew, you look like you got snot coming out of your nose. Be like, yeah, what? You want to lick it? Like, I mean, you know, like be a smart ass, you know, defend yourself. You are who you are, you know. I mean, hell, I got a pug nose, you know, like fucking hell. Like, you know, like whatever. Like, I hate society. I hate the way society and networking and everything has come to be, and just all kinds of stuff like that. Like, I hate life. It's like, oh, enjoy life. Why? So I can be as miserable as you? Like, literally, the people that look at me and are like, you're not really enjoying life. No, I'm not, to a degree. I've never been on a four-wheeler. Never had my own vehicle. Never been able to drive my kid out to the fucking park. Believe me, I know what the fuck I've missed out on. But then I look at you people that have been on four-wheelers. You people that have had a car since you were 16, 17, 18, whatever, or any age before 30. You people that have been able to drive your kid out to the fucking park. And guess what, honey? You in the same fucking boat as me, okay? We all hunky-dory up in this depression ship. Set off to fucking hell, if you will. So, why would I try? Why? You know? Like, I have the same reasoning as you. Like, you'll reason with me. Most people will reason with me. Well, why don't you do it? And I'm like, because this, that, here's all my reasons. And then I can come at them, well, why do you do what you do? And say you're somebody that smokes pot, or somebody that's been driving for this many years, or somebody that came from this family or that background, or what the fuck ever. Why do you do what you do? Well, you know, and so the grass don't look greener on either fucking side, because we both got the fucking common sense to look over and be like, I see the good in it, but I'll just stay where I'm at. Right? So, you know, don't be the pot calling the kettle black in this situation when it comes to me. You know, don't look at my life and be like, oh, I like this about you. I like that about you. I like this. I like that. I wish I could be like this. I wish I could be like that. And then I'm like, okay, this is how you do it. And then you're just like, eh. But instead, most people are like, eh. And then they're like, there's just something wrong with you. Says the pothead. You know, like, there's something wrong with me? Okay. I mean, whatever, you know, what's the saying? I'm rubber and you're glue. Whatever I say bounces off of me and sticks back on you. I mean, but I'm just tired. Oh, so back on the whole name relation thing, I got into the one name. And then that's another thing too, Trammell. I'm wondering if there's a relation there. And then the truck that EJ drives looks like the truck, maybe the truck, that this girl that I went to school with used to drive. And anyways, she's passed away. But I think it's her parents that used to come over and eat all the time. And then the relation between them, if there is any relation between them, which I don't know. And then that's another thing too. Okay, EJ, you're leaving me alone. Why the hell is somebody that was related to you popping up in my suggested friends box like every 2 weeks? So I blocked them. I blocked a whole bunch of people with the same last name as you last night, because I'm done. Because you're just going to love me or hate me. That's it. That's only 2 choices. It's the only options you get with me. There's no well or in between, because all those options were rode the fuck out and wore the fuck out by every goddamn person in my family, where it was like, we love you, Heather. We just don't like your ways, you know? And I'm like, so you love me or you hate me. There's no in between. But, this other girl or whatever, she's got the same last name. Okay, my youngest niece's dad, his last name, what was it my sister said? I don't know if it's his mama's maiden name. Anyways, he's related to people that have this other last name, Silvers. That is the name of a person that's on my Facebook right now that chose to stay friends with me that I used to work with. And I'm just like, I see connections and everything. It's enough to drive me crazy. And if I could get to a point where I could talk to people and be like, hey, and then be honest. See, that's the reason I don't talk to people about all this that I feel and everything, is because I know all too well how the mass majority loves to lie. Why? So they can stay on that networking boat, baby doll. You know? Like, I get it. So you stay on your fucking networking boat, and I'll stay over here on my little piddly rowboat, and I'll row my ass to where the fuck ever I go. You got the all deluxe paid for cruise ship or what the fuck ever. That's on you. But don't even be looking down at me. Don't even pay me no mind. Taking that Myers-Briggs personality test and finding out that it's like, oh, you're an INFP. And it's like, oh, you're the mediator. And it's like, yeah, that is me, you know, to a degree. That pretty much is me. I don't like conflict. I don't like to fight. I don't like to argue. And I don't like to deal with stupid shit. And that's the reason that I kind of live alone to a degree. And I kind of stay in my own little bubble. And I don't let nobody in. And when I do, you should value it. And if you don't, well, then I can't value you. But I've just been really, like, depressed, irritated, and everything because these memes that... See, okay, this is what happened. I'm over at Jen's house. And, well, this is what happened for starters. I'm sitting here, and Jen's texting me, and I'm like, okay, you know. And so I'm like, okay, I'll go over, you know, or ask if she wants some company. That's what I asked, and that's what I normally ask. She put sure with a smiley face. Well, usually that's never her response. So I done knew something was kind of a little wonky, because usually she's like, yeah, you know, but instead she's like, sure, smiley face. So I go over, and her friend that she's talked about quite a bit is over there. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I'm done depressed enough. I wasn't in the mood for extra company. And so I just sat there because I'm like... And then they're doing makeup, like her friend's doing makeup on her. That's like a girly thing that, like, I'm not part of. I don't do. I'm too tomboy. I'm too redneck. I'm too what the hell ever. I'm just too... I mean, Jen, one night, she's like, let me do your eye, you know, and I sat and let her or whatever, but it's not my thing, you know. And I get doing stuff just for fun. Clarabelle, would you please go the fuck on? Yes, I've ate some Slim Jim or whatever. But so we're all sitting there. They're like sitting at the table doing makeup. I'm just sitting there chilling. And there's a movie on that our kid's watching, so I'm like watching it with the kid, you know, kind of getting wrapped up in it. And then the kid goes to bed and the movie's still going or whatever. And I think I still sat there and watched it, or I played with the cat. And then this girl's boyfriend comes in, and then he sits like near the floor, like, or not near the floor, but in the floor near me. And so I'm like, here, you want to play with the cat? Because, like, we're just, like, bored, kind of, or at least that's the way that I'm taking it, you know, and everything. So I'm, like, talking to him a little bit, but I didn't want no company, you know, like, and so I'm, like, kind of communicating with him a little bit, and this girl was trying to kind of communicate with me at various times, And I was just giving little yeah answers and everything. And that's the thing too. Like, Jen's all, oh, I know what an introvert is. Oh, I know what an ambivert is. Oh, I know what an extrovert is. Oh, I know what everything is. You can't tell me anything that I don't know. I know what everything is. She has this very knowledgeable, way about her. And it's like, okay, you know everything, so whatever, Like, when you meet people like that, like, you can't argue with them, like, there's no sense in it, it's this superiority complex of, I know. And now she's not 100% like that. She'll admit occasionally that there's certain things that she don't know. But for the most majority of who she is, she knows, And so I'm just sitting there chill. And then they leave. And then I stay there for like maybe 30 more minutes and then I head on home. And I'm just like, why didn't she just tell me she had company? I wouldn't even came over. I was not in the mood to meet somebody. I was not in the mood to socialize. I was just coming over to like kind of be nice and hang out and board and kick it, random style, if you will, and everything. And I'm just like, whatever. So then the next morning I wake up and her friend has tagged her and her boyfriend in this meme that it shows a dog in the picture and the dog has like a piece of paper on it and it says, I'm afraid, so don't talk to me. And just in that, I'm just like, damn, and I'm like, that has to be towards me. And then I'm like, you know what? Even if it's not towards me, I don't give a shit, And that's the thing, too, is like this friend that is Jen's or whatever, it said, there's the saying, listen to how people talk about their friends, because how they talk about their friends to you is how they're going to talk to you or talk about you to their friends. So if that has anything to say for itself right there, then I'm pretty much in the shit bucket list, Because my friend Jen, that, and I said in yesterday's video, I don't have any friends, but my friend Jen, if you will, if you'll call her that and everything, which I mean, we're civil towards each other and stuff and everything, but she doesn't say the nicest things about people behind their back. It's kind of like my sister. She's just one of those people, and that's just what you got to deal with when you deal with people that are like that. You just let it roll off your shoulders and everything. And so it's one thing to let it roll off my shoulders because I've decided to be friends with her and accept her faults for who she is. But it's another thing if that was towards me, that her new friend, in my opinion, which ain't her new friend, it's her old friend. But you ain't going to sit there and find me as your scapegoat, or whatever, for you to, like, sit there and pick on me because you fucking feel like it and everything. Like, I don't even know you, And I haven't chosen to be friends with you and put up with what your negative faults may be, I've only chose to do that with Jen, And so it just, it kind of lit a little fire up under my ass and everything, kind of pissed me off. And then I was like, me and Jen probably ain't going to stay friends, like as long as I would like, because I love friendships. See, this is the idealist in me. I love friendships. I love relationships. I love being in a relationship. I love being somebody's person and them being my person. I love it all. I love the idea of it. But to bring that shit into fruition up under the circumstances that I'm willing to deal with, and everything, it doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. I'm very picky. I'm very choosy. Call me whatever you want to call me. But I just know what I want. I know what I'm going to tolerate. I know what things are worth to me, and everything. What I'm willing to put in, which is what everybody knows about themselves. So if anybody wants to sit there and bitch about it, be like, you shouldn't be that way. Honey, you're that way too. You just need to look in the fucking mirror and have a reality check, okay? Like, seriously. But, so anyways, I seen that and I was just like, I don't even know. And I was like, whatever. And I was like, I'm just so over it. And so whatever interaction Jen chooses to have with me, whatever she don't, I don't care anymore. Because it's almost like a narcissistic type thing a little bit, and codependency type thing. And like, she thinks that like, I'm codependent upon her, I guess, and it's like, yeah, I'm dependent upon you. But at the same time, are you not dependent upon me? Like, don't disrespect that, If it wasn't for me the other day, you claim, unless you're lying, you claim you wouldn't have even known that you need a babysitter because you're used to the guy you're with working thirds, and instead he started working first. So you needed a babysitter. So I wrote you the night before and was like, hey, but, like, don't. And so anyways, I just can't. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be somebody's poke fun at thing, And that's the thing. Is like, yeah, y'all are all on a fucking cruise ship headed to fucking hell or wherever, and I'm on a rowboat headed there, And your cruise ship is, destined by, let's say your cruise ship's built by Satan, okay? So it's on its way to hell, right? It's literally on its way to hell, right? But you're like, well, I don't care because it's a cruise ship and I get to have fun while I'm here and I get to do this and I get to have all these luxuries and I get a swimming pool and I get people to hang out with and to talk with and to network with and to be this with and then here I am, I'm the little motherfucker in a rowboat, and I keep trying to row towards heaven, but guess what? The waves that are coming from y'all's fucking cruise ship, if you will, keep bringing me back to rolling towards hell. And then I get tired some days, so I just pour my fucking paddles in and I let that shit float its ass on toward hell. And y'all are sitting there laughing at me. Well, what you do is just letting it go to hell. I mean, my God, if you're going to be that stubborn and not come and join our cruise ship that's headed straight towards hell, then why? And I'm not saying that people that don't get along with me are going to hell. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying this is the way that my mind can best articulate my emotions, I guess, of everything that I'm kind of going through and stuff with people. And it's like, so there's days that I'm tired of fighting against, the current and everything or whatever. And so I just pull the fucking paddles in and I just sit there and float for like 3 damn days. And y'all are pointing. That's the thing. Y'all are supposed to be so happy, so well taken care of on this fucking cruise ship that's built by Satan that's taking you to hell that at least you're getting to enjoy yourself right now. Y'all are supposed to be so happy and so fucking content that y'all shouldn't even be worried about me. But instead, y'all are looking over the edge, pointing your fingers, whispering, hollering out at me, going, hey, stupid, what are you doing? And all this. Why? Because I'm against the mass majority? Well, I'd rather be against the mass majority than sitting there being a damn liar and being like, I love my life and everything about it, and I'm willing to sacrifice going to hell on a cruise ship built by Satan so that way I can have the life that I want to right now because it's more fun and all my amenities and everything is taken care of and I have the most fun and I have nothing to worry about. Then why are you looking at me? Why are you worrying about me? I don't understand it. You are being the biggest liar ever. So the way I see it is you can else jump ship and climb up in my little raft boat or what the fuck ever with me, and you grab one paddle and I'll grab the other, and we can row our ass towards heaven, or towards a more just the typical life that I live, or you can stay up on your cruise ship and mind your own fucking business. Why do you even have to look at me? Why do you even have to pay me any attention? It's like I wrote this one damn person on the fucking dating app because they're like, hey, what's your problems, or whatever. Because I'm like, I got a bunch of stuff going on. They're like, tell me your problems. And I'm like, long story. Because it's my whole life. It's my whole life. And they're like, tell me your story. And I'm like, I don't know how, I don't know where to begin. And they're like, give me the shorthand of it. And I'm like, okay, this, blah, 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 blah. And then even at that, it was still like, that fucking long, and everything. And they were like, oh my God, and they sent like 3 crying faces. And they were like, you're so brave, and all this. And I was just like, thanks. And I was like, don't send the crying faces. Makes me feel worse. And they're like, oh, I'm going to help you. And I'm like, listen, unless you got a job, a car, or you can help me get my kid back, ain't nothing you can do for me. Unless you got a job to give me, a car to give me, or a way to just poof and my kid's back home, there ain't nothing you can do to help me. You can be supportive of me. That's it. And if you're not going to, hell, if my own parents wasn't supportive of me, you get what I'm saying? And it's like this whole codependency thing or whatever. And it's like, so here I am, in this little fucking rowboat, or raft or whatever with my little paddles. And I'm constantly having people look over, holler at me, point fingers, whisper about me, all kinds of shit, everything else, And I'm just like, my fucking God, And then they get mad because, the days that I'm sitting there and I'm laughing because I'm deliriously happy. Just for the stupidity of the situation, or whatever. They're wondering why things help me out or happen when they do, It's like, and then there's the ones that are like, they come down, I guess you'd say, and they climb down the side, they stop the cruise ship, they climb down the side, or whatever, on like a rope ladder, and they're like, hey, come climb on the ship, we'll help you, we care about you, we're concerned about you, we love you, come here, we feel sorry for you, we seen you crying the other day, we feel sorry for you, we're gonna help you, come climb this rope ladder. And I'm just like, no, I'm good, And then there's the ones that have even tried to tie me up and bind me and bring me ashore, or not ashore, but onto the cruise ship. And I just keep fucking escaping, I just keep fucking escaping because usually then I'm sitting there crying and then there's somebody that, they end up taking pity on me, or they're just like, you know what, she's another mouth to feed and she don't even want to be here. So we're just going to kick her ass to the curb and throw her back out and let her, have another raft or rowboat or what the fuck ever and just leave her ass, And it's like, it's fine. And then there's people that are like, you're doing this all wrong and you're going to die. And I'm like, you're a moron because we're all going to die. We're all going to die. Choose what legacy you want to leave behind. But I'm going to end it here because it's on an hour. Anybody that's struggling or whatever, or just wants to talk, you can hit me up on my Facebook Messenger and talk to me and stuff. I know what it's like. Boy, do I. But, Lord, do I. I don't even know what I'm going to name this. Names and things. There you go. Names and things. That's what I'm going to name this. But anyways, I'm going to let you go. I hope you're doing well. Keep putting your best foot forward. Keep staying positive as best as you can. Just keep trying. And I'll catch you in tomorrow's video. Take care.